Ethan Carver sat alone at the corner table of the small neighborhood cafe, a plate of untouched fries growing cold beside his laptop. At 38, he'd built a financial empire that made him one of the youngest billionaires in the country. But success had come with a loneliness he'd never anticipated. Today, hiding in this modest cafe far from his usual haunts, he was just another man in a suit trying to find a moment of peace. He was reviewing quarterly reports when he felt someone approach his table. He looked up, ready to politely decline whatever sales pitch or autograph request was coming, and found himself staring into the anxious face of a young woman holding the hand of a small boy. She was maybe 29, with long blonde hair and tired eyes that held both pride and desperation. The little boy, perhaps 4 years old, pressed against her side, his clothes clean but worn, his curly hair in need of a trim. "I'm so sorry to bother you," the woman said, her voice quiet with embarrassment, "but I noticed you haven't touched your fries, and my son is really hungry. Would you mind if we shared them? I'll pay you back. I just don't have cash on me right now, and they only take cards here, and mine was declined. And I just..." Her voice trailed off, and Ethan saw her fighting back tears. The little boy looked up at him with hopeful eyes. "Please, sir," the child said softly, "I'll just have a few. I promise I won't eat them all." Something in Ethan's chest cracked open. He pushed the plate of fries across the table immediately. "Please, take them, and sit down. Both of you." The woman hesitated. "We don't want to intrude." "You're not intruding. I'm not eating them anyway." Ethan gestured to the empty chairs. "Please." The woman and her son sat, and Ethan watched as the child reached for a fry with careful, grateful fingers, as if it were the most precious thing in the world. The woman's hand trembled slightly as she took one herself. "When did you last eat?" Ethan asked gently. The woman looked down. "Yesterday morning. We had breakfast. I thought I'd have my paycheck by now, but there was a processing delay. It'll be in my account tonight. But right now, we have nothing until then." Ethan felt anger rise in him, not at her, but at a system where a working mother and her child could go hungry because of a paycheck delay. He signaled the waiter, "I'd like to order more food. Burgers, more fries, juice for the boy, and whatever she'd like." He looked at the woman. "Please order whatever you want." "I can't accept that," she protested. "The fries are enough. I just needed something for my son." "When was the last time you had a real meal?" Ethan asked. She didn't answer, which was answer enough. "I'm Ethan," he said, "and I'm not taking no for an answer. Order food. For both of you." The little boy tugged his mother's sleeve. "Mommy, I'm really hungry. Can we?" That broke her resistance. She ordered modestly, a burger and water for herself, a kid's meal for her son. Ethan added more items before the waiter left. "I'm Julia," the woman said quietly, "and this is my son, Ben. Nice to meet you both." "What do you do?" "Julia, I'm a pharmacy assistant. I work full-time, but the rent in this city is impossible. My ex-husband doesn't pay child support, and daycare costs almost as much as I make." She looked at Ben with fierce love. "But we manage. We're going to be fine." Ethan heard the pride in her voice, the determination not to be defined by her struggles. He respected that. "I'm sure you will be. Ben seems like a great kid." "He is. He's everything." Julia's eyes filled with tears again. "I'm sorry. I'm not usually this emotional. It's just been a really hard week. And then my card being declined in front of everyone, and having to ask a stranger for food. It's humiliating." "It's not humiliating," Ethan said firmly. "It's being human. We all need help sometimes. The only difference is timing and circumstances." The food arrived, and Ethan watched Ben's face light up with joy. The boy ate with the focused intensity of genuine hunger, and Julia tried to eat slowly, maintaining dignity even in her desperation. As they ate, Julia told her story. She'd been a dental hygienist before Ben was born, but her ex had convinced her to quit her job. When he left them 2 years ago, she'd had to start over with no recent experience. The pharmacy assistant job was the best she could get, and she was taking night classes online to get certified in medical billing, hoping for better pay. "I'm not looking for pity," she said. "I just want a chance to build a stable life for my son. He deserves that." Ethan thought about his own childhood. His single mother who'd worked 3 jobs to keep them afloat. He remembered the kindness of strangers that had kept them from falling through the cracks. "Julia, I own several businesses. One of them includes medical facilities with billing departments. We're always looking for good people, and we offer benefits, including childcare assistance and tuition reimbursement for relevant certifications." Julia stared at him. "You're offering me a job? I'm offering you an interview. If you're qualified and you work hard, the job is yours. But it has to be on merit, not charity. I don't even know your last name. What kind of businesses do you own?" "My name is Ethan Carver. I own Carver Industries." Julia's fork clattered to her plate. "The Carver Industries? The Fortune 500 company? That's the one. Oh my God." Julia's face flushed. "I asked a billionaire for his fries." Ben looked between them, confused by the sudden tension. Ethan smiled gently. "You asked another human being for help when your child was hungry. That takes courage, not shame. The fact that I have money doesn't change that. But people must ask you for things all the time. How do you know I'm not just taking advantage? Because I watched you hesitate before asking. I saw you fighting tears because having to ask hurt your pride. I saw you order the cheapest items on the menu even when I said to get what you wanted. People taking advantage don't act that way." Julia was quiet for a long moment. "Why are you helping us?" "Because someone helped my mother and me once when we had nothing. Because your son shouldn't have to go hungry because of paycheck processing delays. Because I can help, so I should." Ethan pulled out his business card and wrote on the back, "This is my direct number. Call tomorrow. We'll set up an interview. The position starts at twice what you're making now, with full benefits." I don't know what to say. Say you'll give yourself a chance. Say you'll let someone help you the way you'd help someone else if you could. Ben, full of food and content, climbed down from his chair and walked over to Ethan. He held out his small hand solemnly. "Thank you for sharing your fries, sir. You're very nice." Ethan shook the small hand gravely. "Thank you for reminding me why any of this matters, Ben." 3 months later, Julia started at Carver Industries in the medical billing department. She was smart and dedicated, quickly becoming an asset to the team. The increased salary and benefits allowed her to move to a better apartment in a safer neighborhood. Ben started at a good school. Ethan found himself stopping by the billing department more often than necessary, checking on Julia's progress. Their coffee break conversations became something he looked forward to. He met Ben at a company family day and taught him to throw a football. 6 months after the cafe encounter, Ethan asked Julia to dinner, not as her employer, but as a man who'd been captivated by her strength and grace from the moment. She'd asked him for fries. "People will think I'm using you for your money," Julia said. "Do you care what people think?" "Not as much as I care about doing the right thing." "But Ethan, you saved us. How do I know this is real and not just gratitude?" Ethan took her hand. "You saved me too. I was so lost in wealth and isolation that I'd forgotten what really matters. You and Ben reminded me. This is real, Julia. The most real thing I've felt in years." A year later, they were married in a small ceremony with Ben as the ring bearer. In his toast, Ethan told the story of a woman brave enough to ask for fries and humble enough to accept help. Julia taught me that strength isn't about never needing help. It's about having the courage to ask for it when you do. That wealth means nothing if not used to lift others. That the best things in life come from unexpected moments of human connection. He looked at his wife and stepson, his family now. Thank you for asking for those fries. Thank you for giving me the chance to be part of your lives. Thank you for showing me what really matters. Then raised his juice glass solemnly. To sharing fries with nice people, everyone laughed and raised their glasses. To sharing fries. Sometimes miracles look like cold French fries and a mother's desperate courage. Sometimes they look like a child's hunger and a stranger's compassion. Sometimes they look like two people from different worlds finding common ground over shared food and honest conversation. And sometimes the greatest wealth we can possess is knowing when to give, when to receive, and when to recognize that we're all just one moment away from needing grace or offering it. If this story touched you, please like, share, and subscribe for more tales of unexpected kindness. Comment about times when asking for help changed your life, or when helping someone transformed yours. Your stories remind us that connection and compassion are the truest measures of success.